I've made an addition to my ClipBoard Manager extension. Now, if you, let's say, receive a message from somebody who wants to swap properties with you, you often would have to go to one property and then to the next to see what the differences are between the two. You don't really know just by looking at the address as to how much each property is worth or whether it's a good trade or not. You could go to something like Upland and have a look at both properties to see what the mint prices were and all that kind of stuff. But a quick way to do it now for me, at least with the extension that I have, is to click on the first property, which is mine. And you'll see that it's opened the property window. And if I click save the address to the first clipboard line, and then I'm going to close this and go to the second property, which is the one the person was offering, and I add that to the second line. I now have a little button down below. It says compare the items. If I click this, it will show you a quick comparison between the two properties. Obviously the address is going to be different, who owns it's different, but it will now show the difference in size, whether or not there are residents in each one, the monthly earnings, the way they are now. I obviously have mine set in a collection, and this person does not. So this value isn't as important as these values are. The boosted earnings will show you whether or not the property is, let's say the difference between mine and theirs. If theirs was really high, you would know that there was an extra collection that this one was in. And this also shows you the difference, just a quick difference between the two. Whether it's positive or negative doesn't really matter because, well, for one, you can look and see the difference, but like I said, for this one, for example, mine is in a collection and this one is not. So the monthly earnings, just the basic monthly earnings, this doesn't mean anything. This would be the value that's shown here. You have to know what the boosted earnings are for each property. But this is just a simple way of comparing the two. Obviously, in this example, if you look, you'll see that this property is just, it's a waterfront property, but it's there's nothing really special about it. Whereas this was the other property we're looking at, and it's on a racetrack. So this is the reason why the person wanted that property, is they wanted to purchase it because it was on their racetrack. So it has a lot more value than the other property does, which is not on a racetrack. And the two properties were similar in value. Like if I go back to this and have a look, you can see that they're almost the same size. They really have the same or close to the same boosted value. And so at first it seems like a good swap or an ordinary swap. There's no actual benefit to either player. But if you look at this, you would see that it's on the racetrack, which then means that I'm giving up a property that's worth much more than theirs is, if you think that racetrack properties are worth more than other properties. Anyways, that's what the new feature is. I haven't pushed this to the store yet. I'm not sure if I will or not, but for me it's kind of handy.